I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
I had no prior knowledge of the planned assault on Nancy Kerrigan.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
What's up, everybody? It's Oops the Podcast. I'm Giulio Gallerati, joined by Francis Ellis. How you doing, Francis?
Great. Good. Let's do it.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. That felt like a game show intro, right? Like, presenting you, Francis Ellis.
Yeah.
You'd be a good game show host.
That is something I've thought about before.
I think you would. But I also think you'd be one of the game show hosts who killed himself because of it.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Here's the thing,
You'd be
right?
like, Francis, he seems so happy.
Alex Trebek has had such a career,
Unbelievable.
right? And he's done it for so long, and he makes so much money.
Yeah.
And then I also heard they tape all the episodes of Jeopardy in a very short window, and then he
All this
takes
free
like
time.
8 months of the year off
That's insane.
and just does whatever he wants.
No wonder he can pronounce every word so well in every language, because he probably learns every language because he's 8 months a year to learn languages.
He's amazing. He's amazing.
incredible.
What a national treasure.
He really is.
Isn't he Canadian?
I think so.
Yeah, so maybe they're national treasure.
A continental treasure.
Either way, continental treasure. Either way, here's the thing. If you had to do that hosting every night,
Mhm.
The monotony of it would break me down.
Yeah. Having to like be so happy in this disconnect with this group of people who you don't have anything in common with.
Right.
There's something weird about that.
Yeah,
They're all excited. It's like,
Exactly.
It's weird.
I think Steve Harvey, to me, is the one who has it the worst.
that's the show where hosts have like been depressed and
Yeah,
killed
it's
themselves
just
and shit.
too hard to pretend to be excited for people that
Yeah.
you just think every day that you're smarter than them.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right. He's great, by the way.
He is amazing.
He figured that out.
He's relentless in
He's
his
really good at hosting that show.
yeah. I think Drew Carey's good at it.
Mhm.
You just have to have a tireless veneer of happiness.
Mm-hmm.
You can't break that ever.
Yeah.
Whereas Bob Barker used to break it. Like he had moments of frustration and it would show.
Really? I don't
Yeah.
remember. I used to watch that show when I stayed home from school, though. It was great.
Yeah, I watched Blue's Clues.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get into some emails here.
Let's do it. Okay, we have a couple good emails. So I guess let's start with this one. What's up, guys? Not sure if this would qualify for the pod, but I have a pretty, quote, good story from when I was around 19 or 20. So we're at my buddy's house celebrating his birthday. We're all in the basement boozing hard, as you do in the early drinking years. It was mixed company, guys and girls, playing drinking games and whatnot. The bathroom was upstairs, so I wandered up to, I'm laughing because I've read this before, and it was, I really enjoyed it, so sorry. The bathroom was upstairs, so I wandered up to use it, all kinds of fucked up off the old plastic liter Kentucky Gentleman. I'm assuming that's some kind of cheap whiskey.
Yeah.
If you don't know what it is, it's $8 handled whiskey. Okay. His mom is on the couch doing work on the computer. She was a teacher. She had some sort of issue with the computer, so I sat down and said I could help her out.
Oh boy.
I know next to nothing about computers, but I was real fucked up, and back in the day, if I got like that, I thought everyone wanted to bang me. Fair. Long story short, I ended up just sliding the computer aside and make my move to make out with her. Ridiculous. I've never done things like this before, but for some reason I said, fuck it. Next thing I know, we go into the bathroom so no one will see us. She's blowing me as I sit down on the toilet.
Oh my God.
I'm starting to get turned on, dude. I don't know about you.
Keep it
She's
coming.
blowing me as I sit on the toilet. She wasn't using it, just the only seat around. Okay, got it. Then we take it up to the bedroom to do other fun stuff with sex. Then I hear a voice calling out, "Mom?" In my drunken stupor, I knew I locked the door, so no problem there, and kept going. There's a knock on the door, and then it opens. I've never used so much body strength in my life to hurl myself off of this woman and lay flat on the floor as if that would make me invisible. The younger brother asked what was going on, not seeing me on the floor on the other side of the bed. The mom ushered him out of the room and said nothing. I didn't grab any of my belongings and just bailed out of the room to meet one of the other party patrons directly outside of the mother's bedroom. Needless to say, the party found out, and I've been denying it for about 12 years to this day. Love the show.
Oh my God. Wow. All right. So, fantastic submission. Horrible person. horrible person. This is my take.
I love that he's been denying it.
If you bang my mom, you're a bad dude. That's so traumatizing.
We don't know the relation of this guy to the
Let's
mom.
assume she's divorced, right?
Okay.
Or, whatever. Let's assume she's single, right? So this guy's not eliciting an affair and breaking the home. Let's assume, that whatever. Everything was like she's a hot mom, she's eligible. Everyone's always joked about it, all of that. To actually go forward with it and to make, to put the steps in place to make a move on a mom at the house you're partying at. To me, if you're friends with the guy who's throwing the party, you're an asshole.
Oh, for sure. That for sure. But, to play devil's advocate, like the idea of the mom sitting on the couch, like with her glass of wine, working on the computer. You come upstairs, you're like, oh, hey, Mrs. Whatever.
Yeah, it's a porn scene.
It's no, but also to like, you sit down to fix the computer, take a deep breath, set the computer aside and lean in and start making out with the mom. I can't think of anything hotter in my life. That was.
It is impressive, the gall to do that, because I thought when you first started telling the story that it was going to lead to him being rejected, which is a mortifying. I was so scared.
I know
that was where the story was going.
I know. And
to make a move like that on a mom, I mean, I don't know how you come back from that. Like that's tough. Maybe she's cool.
You're still 19 or 20. I think the mom is just like, I respect it, but like go back downstairs.
Maybe if you're
Kentucky
lucky,
bourbon.
like, sorry, boys will be boys. Like maybe she shakes it off. Yeah. Fine.
It's one thing if you take your dick out. If you take your dick out, I don't know how you walk back from that. But if you just lean in to make out and get rejected, it's not that bad.
Yeah. Okay.
That's funny.
Well, God.
What a ridiculous submission,
It's
dude.
funny. It does make me think. I mean, it's just insane. First of all, I don't know how the younger brother comes in and sees his mom presumably like naked or under the sheets of her bed and is just like, oh, nothing to see here, and walks out.
He might have been really young.
Might have been young. But boy, what a story. And I wonder how the rest of the party found out.
I think at the end, I might have left this sentence out because it was confusing me, but he met somebody outside of her room and they're like, were you?
Uh-huh.
I love ambiguous rumors like that. Though. Like there was this rumor that I had slept with, her name's Emmanuel Cherky or something. She was E's girlfriend.
Oh, Emmanuel Shariki
Yes.
from
Yes.
Entourage.
Yes. There was this
one of the most beautiful women alive.
Gorgeous. There was a rumor that I had slept with her. I've never met her in my life.
Where did this come from?
I don't know. One of my friends made it up because he thought it was funny. They think it's funny to make up rumors about me.
I've learned this. Yeah.
There's another rumor that I slept with Donald Trump's daughter, and everyone says, "Gee, bang Donnie T's daughter." I did not, but that was a funny one also for a while. But so this one in particular, I've leaned into it. So all these people would ask me about it, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I feel like it rose my stock a bit.
Of course it would. Yeah. I mean, how do you connect those dots?
Wait, because he's been denying it is how we got to talking about that.
Right.
I find that funny. And I respect him for denying it.
Okay. I think for me, it's just once you sort of put yourselves in the shoes of the guy who was, the son of the mother, you can't live that down. Like that's always going to hang over you, and it's going to crush your feelings about your mom, and everyone's going to call your mom a MILF, and like everyone else is going to then try to bang her, and all of a sudden it's like you don't feel safe in your own home.
No, absolutely. And I mentioned this briefly. I didn't get into any detail about it, but I went on a date with my friend's mom.
You've mentioned this before.
And nothing really happened with it, but I got permission.
See, that is just crazy to me.
Like I was joking. I was like, your mom's so hot. Like, can I take your mom out? And she was like, are you serious? I was like, yeah. She's like, all right, yeah, sure. Like, here's her number. But nothing ever happened with that. She didn't like me.
That's crazy.
I feel like I do well on dates too. Typically, that was my worst showing ever on a date.
It's strange to me that she would have agreed to go on a date with you and then have found you not at that point to have been like, he wasn't for me.
I know. I think she didn't know that I was like a tennis instructor at the time, and I think that turned her off. That I was
Wow.
like the glorified help.
Not the fact that you were 25 years younger. She took umbrage with your vocation. He doesn't show promise. I don't know if he's going to be able to put me in the best assisted living facility when he's 50.
Oh my God. I was
You
just
know what I mean?
a lowly tradesman. Dude, that is so funny. Oh my God.
Oh,
That's
God.
great.
Well,
Dude,
here's a question. I want to
yeah,
ask
go.
you this. What is the worst misread you've ever had of a situation?
Oh.
Like, what's the worst rejection and that was so mortifying and stopped you in your tracks where you were just totally wrong in reading the situation?
So this is subtle, but I still think about it to this day because of how much I thought that this was a home run move, and I fucked it up. So this girl, I dog sat for this girl who was my friend. And like literally we were hanging out at the apartment for a couple of days. Like I was at her apartment. I stayed at her apartment. It was a sick apartment in Tribeca. Like it was great. She had earlier that summer, or maybe the year before, she went on a trip with this guy to Greece or something, or like Europe. And the whole time, like she's like, he was such a great guy. He's my friend. He took her. He paid for everything. They were in a group. And then he like tried to put the moves on her, and she was like, "Oh, we're just friends." And I was like, "Oh, like I completely understand that reaction. Kind of like, what did you expect?" She's like, "I know I should have known better." Because, like, you know, a guy takes you on a trip, like, and he just wants to be friends. That's weird, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So the guy texted her after the trip and was like, "Oh, like, I take you on a trip and then, like, nothing. Like, that's it." So that's what he said. So I watched her dog for 3 weeks, right? And I have a great time sitting in her apartment. We're just friends. I kind of had a thing for her, but, like, we were just friends. And as I left her apartment after she got back, we hugged. I text her as a joke. I say the exact same thing that guy said. I go, "Oh, I just walked your dog for 3 weeks and then that's it." Like thinking she would get the joke. And to this day, she thinks I was dead serious.
Oh, God.
And it's like so frustrating that I'll still bring it up and she'll be like,
Yeah, yeah. Again, and the more you bring it up, the more it solidifies her thought.
Exactly. So like, it's so obvious to me that was me fucking around. And I think to anyone else, but you could not convince her.
But it's text messaging. Context is lost. You know, had you said it in person, I'm sure she would, with a smile on your face, she might have been with you. But
you would have gotten it,
yeah, probably.
you know?
But so that's an interesting one because I was thinking along the lines of like physical advances that were spurned where you thought there was so clearly an invitation. And I don't mean to get into like, you know, murky waters here of like consent. That's not what I'm talking about.
Oh my God.
No, because
totally, I get it.
I'm saying like you think that there's there's like chemistry, you lean in to kiss somebody and they're like, whoa, and then you're like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry."
Right.
You know,
right.
that's what I'm talking about. Like that's happened to me.
Okay. So
And yeah.
I think that for me personally, I am much more traumatized by what I just talked about than me striking out when I try, because at least my intention is clear. And I'm not ashamed of the fact that I was rejected. And I find that somewhere down the road, that same person who initially rejected me eventually like respects my trying so hard,
Got it.
and they let me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but what about you? Do you have a good one?
That's what you said is interesting because now you're talking about you know, persistence being rewarded or the sort of like the flirtation aspect of it. It's like she's, you know, maybe you make a joke out of it and then it's not weird at all.
So dude, I don't even make
like
a
a
joke about it.
game.
I literally will be like, and she'll be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I really wanted to kiss you," because
Wow.
and I stand by that choice, and I'm gonna try again probably, and you can keep rejecting me, but I want this, and I'll never step over the line. I'll never like be
Right.
forceful, but I'm like, if we hang out, I'm gonna try. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, what do you
Yeah.
got? What do you got?
I'm thinking of specific instances in my life where I was just so wrong.
Yeah.
Like I had read the situation
Completely misread it. Right?
dead wrong. And the big one that really comes to mind, and I think I've talked about this, was when I tried to kiss the princess of Jordan.
Good for you, man.
But yeah, that's one where it's so much. I sleep better at night with the peace of mind of knowing that I put myself out there and I was given a firm answer.
Right.
Because to not let me paint the picture. We're at the Queen's 60th birthday party in England, same house where I met Harrison Ford.
Right,
But
I was just saying.
this was years later. This was 18 years later, and I hadn't been back since I met Harrison Ford.
What a great. This house, man, has just really been fruitful for your life.
It's unbelievable.
This is great.
This estate in Ascot, England. So we're there, and she's got 2 daughters and 2 sons, the Queen with the King.
Mhm.
So 2 princes and 2 princesses. And I'm seated, incredibly, directly next to the Princess Iman of Jordan.
Gotcha.
And this girl is so fucking cool. She went to Sandhurst,
What's
which
that?
is England's military. It's like
Oh,
their
that's sick.
West Point.
That's sick.
She was, in the military.
Mhm.
She's, a fucking world face.
Totally.
She was named, I think, to
World
People
face.
magazine's 25 hottest royals under 25.
Oh, wow. That's a great list. to
But
be
that
on.
was before. And at this point, I think we were similar ages. I think at this point we were both like maybe 26 or something.
Mhm.
And so I'm seated directly next to her at a party of 200 plus people.
Oh, wow.
Big long tables in rows, people getting up to give speeches.
It's an advantageous seating assignment.
Yeah. And so
Misleading even.
they're definitely, and they're obviously Arab
Mhm.
and they are Muslim,
Mhm.
but they are, it's
Yeah.
more relaxed.
In
It's
those
not that
circles, those
strict.
higher circles, it's a little less. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, she's drinking, we're drinking heavily.
Mhm.
And then there's a band later
Mhm.
and people are going to be dancing. And I'm like, well, fuck. I mean, I can dance. You know what I mean? Like these stars are aligning. I've assigned seated. I have an assignment right next to her.
Mhm.
So I'm going to be able to talk to her all night. And, I'm fucking cracking jokes.
You're crushing it.
Seeing the ball,
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
talking to this royal in a way that I'm sure she hasn't really,
Right.
at least this is what I thought.
She doesn't encounter
She hasn't
often.
met many lay people
Right.
who are
It's like a PG-13 rom-com plot.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so we're, she's going out for cigarette breaks. I'm going out and pretending I smoke cigarettes and not,
Not
inhaling,
inhaling.
but not wanting her to see that the smoke is coming out pure.
Not in a line, it's just coming out as a puff.
I'm turning my head and like kind of poofing it out.
God.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
All just really trying so hard, just knocking my head against the wall. And at the end of the evening, we danced, and I'm like, God, if you ignore her station in life and the gulf between who we are as people, this to me feels like a great evening between 2 young people who are attracted to each other.
Right.
And at one point I said, hey, do you want to go for a walk in the garden? And she was like, sure. So we walked out into the garden away from the party, and we get to this fountain, and I'm like, oh, fountain? Game over. And we sit down on the ledge of the fountain, talk for a second. We're looking at each other, and I leaned in to kiss her. And by the way, we've been talking, hanging out, dancing, all this for hours. And she leans away. She goes, what are you doing?
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Just immediately.
She said, what are you doing?
She goes, we're Arab. If my brothers see you do that, they will kill you.
Jesus.
That's what she said to me.
Well, you should imagine if you were like, well, they weren't saying anything when you were fucking crushing vodka sodas.
Yeah, and I wanted to be like, I'll convert. I mean, to Arab, is that possible? It's like, I understand that that's the ethnicity, but I'll learn Arabic, whatever.
Yeah, there's a whole like flock of redheaded Muslims too. See? You know what I'm talking about.
So I not only did I walk away with the sting of the rejection, I then was looking over my shoulder for the rest of the evening, thinking like, "Am I about to get fucking, plastic
come with me,
bagged,
bro."
like and
Hilarious.
ushered away in a limousine to a cellar somewhere?"
Yeah, like as if you had fucking been counting cards at a blackjack
Yeah.
table.
Because even as sort of loose or relaxed as they are with their whatever everything, there's still definitely an arranged marriage
Oh yeah.
element of politicization of their
Personal
unions.
lives.
Like they
Right.
marry the princesses and the princes to other big families for the
Right.
sake of political capital, and I certainly didn't fit that mold. I was a recent lacrosse playing graduate, like with nothing to show for himself. So, dude, it was that one was really one that I walked away proud that I had tried, but also in awe of how poorly I had misread the situation.
So did you guys hang out still for the rest of the night?
We exchanged, yeah, kind of,
Okay, so it was
yeah.
fine.
But
It was
by that point, I was like, oh, the bubble I thought was there has
Had
been
burst.
burst. And maybe I should just keep my distance.
Dude.
But it was fine. At the end of the night, we exchanged emails, and she was like, "If you're ever in London, hit me up." And I was like, "All right." And then that was that. We never spoke again.
Wow. You never hit her up?
No, I mean, I think I read in somewhere that she got married like a year later, and then got divorced a couple years after
wow.
that.
See?
So I don't really know what is going on with her. But I wish her well. She's stunning, really gorgeous,
Dude.
Jordanian princess.
Dude. I mean, I remember the Queen of Jordan is gorgeous.
Yeah,
And I remember when I was over there, I said that. And my friend was like, dude, that's like not a good idea to like say that
really
out loud. He's like, people will get really offended.
That was probably Rania,
That
Queen
is who it was.
Rania,
That is who it
because
was.
she's the new queen,
Right. With Abdullah.
Abdullah, who went to Deerfield.
Yeah, dude, how funny is that?
Dude, imagine how much puss he would have been swimming in as a Deerfield student who was the Prince of Jordan.
So I wonder about that.
The crown prince.
I
of
wonder,
Jordan.
dude, I wonder about that, to be honest. I wonder
What-
if it helped.
What American girl is not going to be?
I'll tell you which one.
attracted to
I'll
that.
tell you which one. Like, why is like Abdullah like smoking cigarettes all the time? She's like, oh, he's like a prince or something. I think he's like a prince.
That girl's attracted or not attracted?
Like, I don't think she cares. I don't think she realizes how significant that is. And he's just in the dorms, fucking like any other.
But this was a polished, westernized kid who
I
was
get it.
being raised or growing up in an American education system. So he clearly had, adapted. He spoke perfect, fluent English.
And dude, also rich, like being a rich kid isn't like as high of currency at boarding school as like being able to wield that lacrosse
Dude,
stick.
I think royalty
You think so?
is.
You think
is
they
that
get
the
it?
word? Royality.
It could be. It sounds nice if it
yeah.
not
Excuse me.
Royalty? Royalty.
Stupid. Got my feet
Yeah,
ahead
but
of my toes
royalty
there.
is the embodiment of
Yeah.
royalty.
Royalty is royalty and fame are cards that very few possess, and bring you into different echelons.
And I think though that by not having the fame, there's this ambiguity that makes it like you're a teenager. You don't know, like you don't know about this stuff. I don't think that card plays as strongly in high school. You think it does?
I disagree, dude, because all girls at that time were talking about was how hot Prince Harry and Prince William were.
Yeah, but they're famous. The
Fine.
Prince of Jordan isn't on People magazine. He's not on the cover of People magazine.
No, but everyone knows him
Ah,
at Deerfield as the Prince of Jordan. Everybody knows who he is.
they know him at Deerfield as the Prince of Jordan, but like I think that I would argue that the kid who's like the nasty soccer player would get way more ass.
Maybe from the Connecticut standpoint of
Because
like,
you just don't know. Jordan also to like Americans, not to shit on Americans, but like we don't know about the world that as well. And granted, in a boarding school environment or a more worldly group, I understand that.
I think just saying the Prince of Anywhere is going to give him cachet.
Here's an example of this. You know Rye Daddy?
No.
Yeah, you do. Ryan DeCarlos, Rye Daddy.
Oh yeah. I
So
do.
Rye Daddy's he's this comedian. He's from I think the Philippines originally, and there's some like he has some kind of like aristocratic heritage or political heritage,
Mhm.
and that doesn't help him at all.
Well, maybe it's because he's a comedian. You know what I mean?
Maybe,
it's
but
because
the
he's
Prince was
put
a high school
himself
student.
in a place where nobody gives a shit. But if I bet you that if in high school, if that were the card that he had played,
I just don't know.
it would have been something.
I think in New York City high school that card plays, where like money means more than all the other stuff that normally matters in high school. Where like kids know already that kid's rich, so that kid gets laid.
Mm-hmm.
I think that royalty card goes further. I mean, who am I to know? I don't know the answer. You could be right, but it seems to me not as fortified of a card at that young age, and that he definitely bloomed later on,
Right.
especially in college. If he even had to do that, I'm sure he did.
Interesting.
I don't know. Whatever. Dude, so I wanted to ask you about this. So I went to get a slice of pizza last night
Nice.
with my girlfriend. It was lovely. We went to Joe's Pizza.
Yeah.
Great establishment. And
But
like
there are so many Joe's pizzas.
that is true, but I still think that doesn't take away
Which
from
is
how
the
cool-
one that you
I don't
like?
think it's overrated. I mean, I don't really care which one.
Oh, you go to any of the ones of the
They're
of
all
the
fine.
chain. Okay.
They've syndicated well. Like even the LA Joe slice tastes like a Joe slice.
Interesting. Okay.
But I noticed on the wall something that I notice in every pizza place, and that is just pictures with celebrities.
Yeah.
And the thing that's funny about it is it's not even Joe. It's just like whoever was there that day
Yeah.
with a famous guy. So it's just pictures of famous guys with a guy who's presumably the pizza guy.
Uh-huh.
And I just think it's funny that like Italians, it's like a very unique form of name dropping,
Yeah.
which I was very proud of myself for thinking of this. Frame dropping.
Oh,
Do
we
you like
like
that?
that. We do like that.
I was
yeah.
excited to bring that up. And that frame dropping is when you just have a bunch of pictures of yourself with celebrities
That's really good, dude.
all around your establishment.
That is really good. That is really good, dude. It's a great point, and I want to add this, which is that I was at the stand last night, and the host went up, and he said that he was doing impressions, and he said he ran into Owen Wilson, and he was like, he was a great guy, ran him on the street, got his autograph, like da da da. Who is getting autographs
Thank you for bringing this up.
anymore?
It's the craziest thing to want.
Who is at all asking for an autograph?
And
That
it makes me think that story's a lie.
well, I'm sure it was. I think it was just a setup.
A setup
for,
for
his
being like, "Ooh, my
impression.
house. Oh."
Yeah,
Everybody's
exactly.
talking, yeah, hilarious.
But the only place where asking for an autograph is acceptable now is if you're at a sporting event and you're a kid hanging over the railing,
Absolutely.
handing a ball to an athlete. But
Absolutely.
would you ever want or ask for an autograph from a celebrity if you ran into them?
So at this point, now that you and I have spent so much time in the entertainment business and have spent so much time around celebrities, that would be an absolutely insane thing for us to do.
Yeah.
However, if that were not the case, and I didn't see famous people all the time, whatever, it would still be fucking weird.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I feel like there was a time where it wasn't. And I think that cell phones are the things that have changed that.
Yeah.
A picture with a famous person, a selfie with a famous person is way more valuable than an autograph
Agreed.
for your personal legacy. But is there some physical value to autographs? I don't know. I don't know if there's like, because I bought an autograph as a kid. I would buy autographs.
Yeah.
I bought a Magic Johnson autograph.
Whoa.
Came with a certificate of authenticity. Who knows if that was bullshit or not?
How much did that run you?
$80 or something,
Wow.
$50, who knows? 75. I don't remember. But I know that that seems a thing that I don't know if that's memorabilia
Mhm.
is dying out with the generation who liked it.
Memorabilia holds no interest for me. You go to those memorabilia stores, I think it's just because once you realize that all the stuff in there is coming from a sit down session where the athlete or the celebrity is just ripping
Dude.
through as many, like a conveyor line of cards or whatever they're
Absolutely.
signing, and it has no meaning. It has no meaning. Whereas if you were to actually run into them on the street and you got their autograph, that actually used to me mean something.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It meant something before right, exactly. So,
Right.
but the idea of going up to somebody and asking them for their autograph, like, I can't imagine ever doing it because it's just such a like weird thing where like you no longer are like a person to that person.
Correct. You are placing them yourself as such a subservient fanboy, such a sycophant.
Yeah, it sucks.
And who wants that? Who wants to relegate themselves to that level?
Absolutely.
That's just, I believe in myself too much. I'd rather have a conversation. And if they're not willing, no problem. I don't want to be invasive. I don't want to
Totally.
be invading their privacy. But
Totally.
And I will also say that now the modern day autograph is getting the picture and posting it on your social media. And what's crazy about that is when you would have autographs as a kid or maybe as an adult, would you bring people into your man cave and walk them through your autograph collection?
Right.
Would you show it off?
Right. I think that the people who had it would.
Interesting.
But dude, you're right. And the other thing too, like I remember I got an autograph. Okay, I'm a big Wu-Tang fan, right? I went to see Ghostface Killah with Capadonna and Raekwon,
Nice.
the chef, at Wesleyan, where my dad works.
Yeah.
My dad came to the concert, which I respected, threw up the W. I still have a picture of it. I respected that. It was cool. But after the show, I got Ghostface's autograph. Now, I was wearing a Prince t-shirt, which is a tennis brand that is sort of not as popular as it once was, still around. But so I just have this Prince t-shirt with Ghostface Killah's autograph on it. And like, what's the point of even getting something autographed that doesn't even fit? Like if you don't have a picture of the person, which by the way, if you have a picture of the person, you're a weirdo.
Yeah.
But if you don't have some sort of like memorabilia that fits in with the vibe of the person whose autograph you're getting, what's the point of even getting it?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, dude.
Like
good
if you ever
question.
sign something extremely random, like if you're not at like a sporting event where you have a brochure, like you just get whatever, like you get your shoe signed, like what do you fucking do?
Right. I agree. Yeah, a lot of people get hats signed. I once saved up for a LeBron James authentic jersey.
Wow. That he had worn?
I mowed so many lawns. No. Just like the one on the NBA store.
Oh, okay.
But it, to buy the swing, it was called, there were like 3 tiers of jerseys you could buy. There was like the replica, the swing man, and then the authentic.
Gotcha.
And the replica was just shitty screen printed numbers. The swing man was the middle tier that actually had somewhat, embroidered, but it was like still ironed on. And then the authentic was like sewn in lettering.
Oh, okay.
And they were the ones they wore on the court. And they were like, $200. They were expensive.
Wow.
So I saved up for this LeBron James jersey. I think it was either his rookie or his second year in the NBA playing for the Cavs.
How old are you at this point?
I was probably a freshman in high school.
Okay.
And I went to the Celtics Cavs game with my buddy Michael. And I was an autograph fiend. I knew how to get them. I knew we had to get where to go. I knew where the opposing team would be warming up. I got my spot coming out of the tunnel, basically. And I had this jersey, and I folded it up with the numbers. I had my Sharpie, and
You're ready to go.
all I wanted was LeBron James's autograph. But for some reason, as players were walking out from the Cavs, I made the decision, well, maybe I should try to get the whole team to autograph this jersey. And so Darius Miles, who was on the team, is coming out. And I'm like, well, I know Darius Miles. He's a big name. And I got him to autograph it. And then I had like 6 or 7 other random no-name players autograph it. And then I'm like, okay. And then LeBron James starts walking out, and he didn't sign the jersey. He walked by because he was only signing for like toddlers with their dads. And so now I have this authentic jersey that I spent so much money on, saving up for weeks. And I have everybody on the entire Cleveland Cavaliers roster except for the guy whose jersey it was.
You just have like Ilgauskas fucking...
Dude, it sits in my fucking childhood closet to this day as a reminder of my idiotic decision making.
Damn. Well, I mean, listen, dude, like at least LeBron wasn't going to sign it anyway.
No.
So
but
that
I'd
makes
rather
you feel a
have
little
the
better.
authentic jersey with no
Right, clean.
autographs on it
Totally.
than everyone other than LeBron.
Dude, this is the other thing that this like makes me think of. It's like you were busting your ass, you were doing all this work, manual labor to buy some jersey. Like that's like such a sad
I know.
image too. Like also that it's just sitting in your closet.
Dude, my life as a child was just one wanted item to the next.
Absolutely the same.
It was, what do I want now? My entire life and focus will be towards acquiring that thing. Now that I've got it, I fucking don't care anymore. What's the next thing?
Yeah, totally.
It was just let's gain, let's possess,
get more stuff.
Yeah, let's acquire and gain and fill our space with shit that won't mean anything in a number of years.
Absolutely. Actually, I would like to challenge our listeners to get rid of your shit.
Yeah.
Like anything you don't need, just fucking get rid of it. Like you just don't need it. You think you need it and you don't. And it's bogging you down. It's making you less mobile. It's making it harder for you to execute on opportunities and decisions. Throw out your shit.
Yeah. The woman, we talk about her a lot, the Japanese woman.
Oh yeah, Marie Kondo.
Marie Kondo, the subtle art of cleaning up or tidying up, whatever it is. Just, you cannot overstate how good the purge feels.
It's fantastic.
Of clothing, of creating space. You should tell yourself, don't buy a new thing until I've made space for it.
Right. Or do you really need it?
Yeah.
You think you want it. Do you really want it? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Fun.
Oops, the podcast, baby.
Oops, the podcast. Send us your stories of missed opportunities, of misread situations, and spurned advances that have haunted you to this day.
Well said.
oopsthepodcast@gmail.com. I'm Francis C.C. Ellis on Instagram. He is not Julio with a J. Thanks for joining us, guys. We will see you soon.
If you like that video, check out our channel where we have way more videos. I just don't know how to do this. This is unbelievable. If you like that video, we have way more videos on our channel. Please like and subscribe. Turn on notifications if you want to know when there are new ones. But if not, check them out, and we appreciate it.
Oops.